It could include been a fully various lifetime history for menswear planner Simon Waggoner if he had been capable to pursue his at first selection of career way. I requested to be a physician, but I didn't get the grades, he says. Instead of creature capable to research medical at college in the previous 1980s, Mr. Waggoner had to settle down for a year in immunology, the research of the immunity framework, at a school in London. And residing in the rich western London region of Chelsea, receive a portion-time job at a branded clothing store quickly encouraged him to completely replace the planet of scientific for a career in the Vogue and jewelry articles production. Human beings utilized to go in and sell material at the store, and one day a guy was marketing motorcycle brooches, says Mr. Waggoner. I bring down in loving in A, and my officer told I could include it instead of my date's salary. I got so lot reverence, and I mind, which if I sold out my own brooches. Present Mr. Waggoner similar Vogue jewelry articles and auxiliary equipment sticker enjoys yearly world turnover of £15 meter. Top named for its colorful figured shirts, celeb fans involve UK comedians Gender Merton and Richard Iode, and artist Gary Oldman. It is a far cry of while he begun out in 1985, hard to sell his brooches on Chelsea's major Tsar's Way trading road. I nested my cash, had 100 brooches done, and tested to sell them on the Tsar's Way, he says. I begun at one late, and by the period I achieved the sum and I had no turnover since slightly deflated and discarded. I tested one recent store, a top-end jeweler. To my surprise party they favorite them and purchased 50 off me immediately. But Mr. Waggoner is the at first to recognize how it was more than of a hobbyist behind later. If you said me I'd include a world industry imperial power 30-year downward the link I never would include believed thou. Yet the hobbyist rapidly rotated in a success industry, and during a few years he was creature supplied by prestigious division store consisting Harrods and Selfridges. Start a industry behind later was facilitating, he says. Thou could fair go in a store and get in front line of the law human beings direct off he's unfeasible present, you couldn't begin a industry present the way I did behind later. If shops include never heard of thou, later they perhaps win tea though get a opportunity on thou. Branch out above the year to at first cufflinks, and later shirts, suits, jackets and shoes, the industry now has 25 employees. In the previous days I knew which my major ability was, creature out down there marketing my means, says Mr. Waggoner. So slowly I involved some human beings to do the administration and finance sides for me, the requirement to aware your strengths and weaknesses while it comes to industry. But I must be making thing law, if I've stored several of the identical personnel for 30 year. Present Mr. Waggoner is yet the person of the London-based industry, network for his mark. He as well mentors upwards and coming Vogue designers. In supplement to acquiescence in division store, Simon Waggoner has 9 store of its their own, 4 persons in London, 1 in Brighton, 1 in Johannesburg, and 3 how newly outdoor in India. It is as well more marketing about the planet via its website, and on the internet turnover now account for 20% of the company's circulation. Time I solidly trust in the force of the top road, I as well aware how on the internet is key to much, says Mr. Waggoner. I had a completely business website really previous on, and aware how essential public print is for brands. I loving the top road and my shops put bricks and engine requirement to include an expertise item if they're to pull through. As, for us a tool utilizing link in large personalities, possessing shops in exciting antiques and artworks, time giver our customers a more than private facility, and expressive them the story over the food the requirement to propose customers thing they fair can't get on the internet. Vogue bearer and designer Sarah Mewlandway says Mr. Waggoner deserves special commend for expansion in India in latter year, via a necktie up in India's greatest opulence retail dealer, The Joint. UK designers, one-day success, characteristically see to extend in China and the US, she says. Yet, Simon has advanced in India, and has executed Hindu style and civilization in his collections. It is a smart way to evolve loyalist customers who importance his designs and business ideas. In spite the extension in new markets, Mr. Waggoner says he has ever constructed the industry integrally. We never took any external invest, he says. Perhaps how is why I'm not a enormous behalf, or perhaps how's why I'm yet there. I love the standard of liberty and monitoring he's taking into account me. Though he admits how down there include been several hard times on the path, particularly for the world finance meltdown of 2008, he says the industry has grown up above the history 5-year. One man who has done a big effect on the business is Mr. Waggoner's former wife, who Remnant Finance CEO. Following up coming out a few years back, he now lives in his man Derek in London. My woman at the period done it and lightweight transfer for me, and I'm yet large friends in her, that is happy, as we do a lot of essential decisions along on the industry, he says. Industry towards, Mr. Waggoner admires two human beings in the social eye while it comes to Vogue, Comrade UK planner Gender Blacksmith, and Duke Charles. In Charles he's not on Vogue, he's on styling, and same's ever had his own distinctive styling, if it is Vogue or no. And I feast him for how,